you'll go into anger or defensiveness and therefore not want to take anyone's feedback. And there is something to be said about like not owning everyone else's kind of the story that they put on you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been too long. I've been getting back into the swing of things with my channel. But guess what? I'm here now. I brought you someone very special today. But first, if you have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for doing that. If you have not, I don't want you to miss out any information of this content that can change your life so you can find love on top. Hello, my name is Cindy V. King. I am a relationship and a dating coach to executives and high achiever in Vancouver, BC. Welcome to my TV show. But first, I noticed has been a theme with the planet and maybe with relationship being tested. We don't know if we're going to stay in this relationship or if things are breaking up or falling apart. What happens if two people decide to go different ways? Have you experienced a breakup before? Have you had a hard time getting over someone? Have you experienced either both? Who is going to clean up this mess? Well, I brought someone that can help you to get over and turn your sobby stories into a silver line breakup. And today I want to announce that an advisor, columnist, and a breakup coach trained and certified as solution-focused life coaching, Chelsea Leanne Trescott, helps her clients to turn their sobbing stories into a silver line breakup. Her writing has been featured all across the internet as well in paperback. She lives in her happy place, aka New York City. Loves with ease, filled with most alive with conversations, and will always hold a spotlight on those who grace her life. A confidentialist through and through. If you dated her, she has probably written about you. So, hello, Chelsea. I want to welcome you to Cindy V. King TV show. You just got some juicy and hot topic. We must get it out from you. I must confess to you right now, I have a little bit of a girl crush on your work when I first came across from it. I have to ask you this. What got you doing what you do today?
Wow. Well, I think really what got me doing what I do today is initially feeling very trapped in relationships, I was in a 3.5-year relationship, and I was living in California at the time. And I kind of used that relationship initially to deal with not knowing anyone in that city and the isolation. And it backfired, it only isolated me more. And then I had such a hard time letting the relationship go because I didn't have anyone else. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people experience this, the person that you love becomes your best friend and you feel like you're losing both at once. So, there was a point where, in retrospect, I realized that what I needed at the time is who I am now and what I give people now. And really it was just someone that if I was getting out of my relationship would hold out a hand to me, and guide me through it and make me see that that relationship happened for a reason and it was necessary, but that the next best thing was going to happen, and to leave the relationship when you know you should leave it rather than prolonging something, right? Mm-hmm. So basically I left California and I moved back to Miami, which is where I'm from. Oh, wow. And I broke up with the boyfriend, and at the time was applying to clinical psychology programs and also doing a life coaching certification program for a year. And after that, I moved to New York, and I really I was thinking, what are the conversations that I really have all the time in terms of life coaching? And I realized, it was breakup. It was helping people with relationships. That ultimately something I'm not afraid of is vulnerability and love and getting into love. So I combined the two things, and I started helping people, and I saw that everywhere I went, rather than like kind of diagnosing people in a clinical way, that I could relate to any person. If I said that, that this is what I do, I'm a breakup coach, that people, even if they haven't gone through it, they fear going through it. It's a universal fear and experience. So it really connected me to people in a way that I hadn't been doing before, and therefore I didn't have to rely on these boyfriends to feel connected to anything anymore, So that's how the breakup coaching started. And then, then I started writing. I'd gotten an MFA in writing. I started putting all my writing out there, and readers were writing into me with these questions. And at the time, I couldn't respond to all their questions. I got picked up by the Huffington Post, and I decided to use that opportunity to become an advice columnist and start answering questions that way, and actually, make something of it. And that has been incredibly fulfilling.
I think you are doing such an awesome job with helping people with breakup, because, I experienced that through my clients' eyes, and they can end up being in the hospital. And that's going into our next topic. How do we date during a breakup?
How do we date during a breakup? Yeah, so that was actually the column that I published today was a bit about that. I think that, after heartbreak, how do you date? I think a lot of, the issue that people run into is that they want to immediately start dating. And they don't want to kind of look at the situation. They just really want to know that they're lovable, right? They feel rejected, so they want to feel accepted by someone else and kind of overcompensate for it. And my biggest thing is, if you're going to be dating, use dating at that time just to be in conversation with people. Don't look at it for, the next man that you're going to fall in love with. Look for the next man, the lesson at the time, right? So a lot of the time, like, between my boyfriend now and the boyfriend that I broke up with for 3.5 years, there was some guys that were a bridge between the two. And then there was a period of time where I didn't see anyone. And all of those things were necessary. But it was important to look at, the relationship, the small relationship that I had in between, as not that, this was the guy, but this was the guy that was tempting me to not go back on my word to myself. And I think people should, after heartbreak, find those people. Who are the people that are going to kind of be like the guys in the past, and going to test you to see if you really are committed to changing your story and reaching for more.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's beyond ourself, and it's not about rebound. It's more like having a conversation with another party.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I'm not about the rebound thing, at all. That you have to take yourself out of the game, but I think you should put yourself in the game of conversation. I think the hardest thing is, after a breakup, we kind of shut ourselves down. We can become really silent. We don't have that line of communication that we really counted on to have the deep conversations with that held us accountable for it. And it's important to find, for me especially, and what I help women do, is to be playful with men about conversations, to recognize that, like, you can have incredibly intimate conversations with men that you're not dating, you know? So I think, I've really tried to help women in that way, to really communicate and sound like themselves, and be with guys in a playful, conversational way.
Yeah, I think that's really great what you are saying about that. There's times when, how do you how do you grow from your ex feedback? How do you do that?
I think that, a lot of the times, like with anger, you'll go into anger or defensiveness, and therefore not want to take anyone's feedback. And there is something to be said about, like, not owning everyone else's kind of the story that they put on you. But the reality is that, like, this person did see you up closely, and I think that you should hear it at least, right? I wish that the men in my life had been able to say to me when I was begging, like asking for feedback. they never said anything about the tears that I had all the time. And I wish they had said something, because without it, I had to figure it out all on my own, and writing helps. So you have to find some way, something that you can kind of, if you haven't gotten the feedback, where you can really investigate yourself, or if you are given feedback, realize that, like, take some of it and leave the rest in a way, but, be open and see that, people are, relationships are meant to show you, like, give you a mirror. I mean,
Yeah.
Elizabeth Gilbert says, like, the best thing about soulmates, I can't, quote it exactly, but she talks about how soulmates are the ones that come into your life and they shake you up, and they break you down, and they hold a mirror to you to show you what you really need to confront in yourself. And they're the ones that leave, and then they bring upon the spiritual partner, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I believe. So I think, like, if you're broken down by an ex and they say things, let yourself, let them show you who you are a bit, and kind of be comfortable,
Yeah.
with what they say about you,
I totally agree with you on the fact that, like, we kind of project on each other.
Right.
And it's just a mirror that that person is holding up.
Right. Yeah.
And-
I mean, it's interesting. Like, for example, like ghosting, right? So a guy disappears, and there can be all this anger, right, toward this person, and, like, how could they do this, or why are they this person, and trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
And I realized at a certain point, instead of, like, trying to get so ingrained in their story and why they did this to you, look, and, like, about why they're this way, look at it as, I'm figuring out that I would never do this to someone. I'm someone that values loyalty, that wants to show up. If they say they're going to show up, that's a commitment, right? I'm not afraid of confrontation. And instead of projecting onto someone your fears, right, the things that you never want to be and you don't understand how someone else could be, recognize where the anger is coming from and realize what it's saying about you, and be excited about that you're learning, like, the pain points are showing you the things that are your purpose, and the things that, you want to be intentional about.
Yeah, it's all about peeling the layers as you get deeper in the next relationship. I think it's all about getting to know better of who you are, and when you walk away, you learn what you want to change and what you don't want to change, right?
Right. Absolutely. I think that, relationships, ultimately, they're the fastest way to growth. And it's about evolving, and I think that we get into relationships to teach us the next lesson at the time, and the relationships that end, it's because either one person or both people have kind of gotten the lesson that they needed, and that's why people leave each other. So it's all about bringing you to the next stage of your life, and the only time that we don't get that is when we try to grab for the past, or when we don't actually see that this is in our favor. We have to trust that our heart breaks to bring us to the next thing that we're meant for.
No, I think that's really great that it's very congruent about discovering the next layer of yourself. Is it possible to win love back? How can you win love back?
To win love back.
If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends, because sharing is caring. If you want my help in your relationship or dating situation, you can always book a time with me. Check out the link below. To stay in touch, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell button so you can be notified when I post new videos. Please go ahead, hit the like button, because it encouraged me to create more contents like this every week for you. If you have any ideas for a video, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.